Hello, good day, and welcome everybody to the Foyt webinar on the membership benefits for Foyt. My name is Rod and I am the membership manager, and today I'm joined by a few people to discuss the membership benefits. We have with us today Henry Vincent from BGI, who is going to be talking about the offerings from Gambrise. We have Sam Rowley, who is the editor of the online health and wellbeing magazine. We have Bianca, who is our social media expert. And we have Sophie Hansford, who is representing BGI, talking about the insurance element. So let us start. Foyt, as we all know, is an association of independent therapists and practitioners. And we have about 6,000 members at the moment, businesses as well, created to complement a wide range of holistic therapists and practices, up to, I think, nearly almost 2,000 now in 30 countries at the moment. We have 4 levels of membership there: Connect, Support, Protect, and Corporate. And if we look at the various areas, Connect is free, Support, depending on whether you're in the UK, Ireland, or Europe, is £49 or €59. Protect starts at £96 or €106. And the corporate pricing and membership is subject to pricing. Within the various levels of membership, we do have various jurisdictions. So the membership benefits do vary between the various jurisdictions. So it's important when you navigate these pages that you go to the right level of membership that suits you, and you choose the right jurisdiction where you are based. You may, of course, be traveling and be doing work all around, but the jurisdiction that it's based on is based on your residency and where you practice normally. Okay, so let's now look at the various membership benefits. Let's look at the global directory. Sam, you work with me and Dan as well behind the scenes on the directory and other people. And basically, this is a business and events directory. And our members can basically publish their own practices there. Would you like to say a little bit more about the directory?
Sure, no problem. Thank you. So with many of the memberships, you are able to use our directory. And this directory is a great benefit because it goes beyond just a mere listing. It's a networking hub, fostering collaboration, information exchange, and sharing of best practices. It also features individual practitioners, businesses, different facilities, and support services. So we really encourage everyone to list themselves in the directory. And if you're having problems doing this, you can always contact one of the team, and we'll happily help you do this.
Fantastic. And let's actually look at the directory now. If I can just get there. And let's have a look at the health and wellbeing directory. So, yeah, and here we see all our members who want to list. And we do encourage, don't we, Sam, our members to list their own practices on the directory. It's a very, very good way for you to highlight who you are, what you do, where you do it, and also you can link your directory listing to your own social media sites, and it's a very good opportunity to publicize yourself in a very, very soft and gentle way. Here we have a certain individual who offers counseling and mentoring services. Just happens to be me, but we'll go into my little area on the directory. And you can see here that the photographs can be interchangeable. Here I've got the Association of Holistic and Complementary Practitioners. I've got some area with my qualifications and a photograph showing my contact details there. And as we scroll down towards the right here, I've got the category of my therapies that I offer, which are talking therapies. I have tags that I choose myself: counseling, mentoring, and Oxfordshire for location. I've got my address. I've got the times that I'm available, my email contact, and any social media links here. Here is a map showing where I am located. So when we go back to the directory, people can search using postcodes or locations, counties, countries, and then everybody who is listed with us will come up on that search, which is a very useful function. And here I've created a couple of paragraphs myself about my background. So really that's a little bit about the directory. And I think basically with the directory, it's really up to the individual practitioner to register themselves. We give the directions on how to list, which is here on the website. It's how to use the directory. If you click on there, you get the directions, and they're fairly simple and straightforward. But if you do need any help with making your own listing on the directory, do contact either Sam or myself, and we will help you. We will take you through it over the telephone or during a Teams meeting or something. I think that's about it on the directory. Is there anything you'd like to add maybe about the events calendar, which is part of the directory, Sam?
I was just going to mention that mustn't forget about the what's on part where you can add your events. Some people also add their latest books. If they're publishing a book, that can also go on there. So it's a really useful tool that you can take the advantage of using.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sam. That's great. So going down our membership benefits, the second pillar I like to call the directory and the magazine, the main pillars of our membership benefits. The second pillar is the Health and Wellbeing online magazine, and Sam is the editor. So Sam, do take us forward with the magazine.
Thank you, Rod. So this is our lovely Health and Wellbeing magazine, and the aim of the online Health and Wellbeing magazine by Foyht is to showcase Foyht members' expertise, promote businesses, support holistic well-being, and to spread positivity. It's an information hub, a motivational corner, creates an interactive community, and offers a multimedia experience. So at the top, we have our different categories. So it's very easy to navigate. Let's have a look under health. Let's click on parentage. So you can see there are lots of different articles here. Let's click on lack of sleep. So when you decide to submit an article, I normally give a few guidelines. One of the guidelines is to please include a photo of yourself and a couple of sentences about yourself, as well as your social media platforms you'd like me to include, email address, contact details. And some people send through their own images. Sometimes I help and find some images. And you don't have to worry if it's an image you don't like, that's absolutely fine. You can just say, oh, please, can you change this image to someone looking happier? And I'll happily do that. Same as with all the headings and subheadings. I can make any changes you need. So when you submit an article, we work as a team. So at the end, the article that is published is the article that you've envisioned. So under well-being, we've got lifestyle, nutrition, swimming, and yoga. Let's have a quick look at swimming. So under swimming, we've got quite a few different articles: paddleboarding in winter, ditch the wetsuits in May, 7 great reasons for winter swimming. And I'm going to draw your attention to diving into greatness, splash and dash, champion strokes, and dive into the current, because this is our mascot, Reese Huckle, and she is a little superstar. She is the mascot for FOSS and BGI, and she is an inspiration. She's working really hard with her swimming. So because of that, we put updates in the magazine from time to time. Then we have our monthly column. So a monthly column normally comes out on the 1st of every month and is written by Medicine with Words. This year's topic has been navigating your journey. And I can't wait to find out what next year's topic is going to be. Then we have hashtag ICYMI. So this is in case you missed it. So some authors ask me what happens to their articles once they've been published. Don't worry, they don't just disappear into nothingness. They go into our ICYMI so that they can still be viewed. So you can see this article from 3 months ago, 2 months ago. Then we have resources, where you can find webinars, podcasts, YouTube videos, and this is an area that we're trying to grow and extend. We also have some book recommendations, and our social media expert Bianca put a post out the other day on our social platforms asking for your top, or the audience's top few podcasts and top few book recommendations so that we can compile a list. And then we have Find a Practitioner. Find a Practitioner links back to what Rod and I were discussing earlier on with the directory and What's On. So What's On is where you can show some upcoming events. So here we've got a retreat, and this is a book release date. So we can also add that in for you, or you can add it yourself. And yeah, that's our lovely magazine. I'll go back to Rod. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Sam. That's great. And on the main Foyt webpage, we can contact Sam by emailing her at editor@foyt.org there, the email address there. So that'll be great. We do encourage you to register your listing and to publish an article about your practice and about who you are and where you are. So it's really important to get you out there. And with both the directory listing and also the any article that you can publish in the magazine, you can post links to those two sites, those two things, on your own social media, which will get you better exposure for your practice and who you are. So we do encourage all our members to do that. And you can submit more than one article for the magazine, so don't think you're limited to just one. So if you think you have a series of articles over, let's say, a 6 or 9 month period, then by all means, do think about submitting 1, 2, or 3 articles at various junctures to showcase different aspects of your business and your practice. So the world is your oyster, so to speak, and you can just contact Sam and discuss the matters further regarding your listing and also the magazine article. Thank you. So moving on, we are coming now to the Gambrise offering. Henry is here to talk to us a little bit about the data breach alert service, which I know I have subscribed to, and I haven't been contacted yet, so that's a good thing. And also we provide a free secure email service as well. So Henry, if you'd perhaps like to introduce these various aspects of the Gambrise offering, that would be fantastic.
Great, yes, thank you, Rod. Yeah, so with the services that Gambrise offer as part of the membership, the first one I'll go through is the data breach alert service. So quite simply, what this will do is we will provide you with a mock record to put into your own customer or client database, and that will contain a unique email address, which if that email address is ever contacted by someone who has stolen your data or accessed your customer data, we'll be notified, and that will allow us to then tell you that's happened, which will then be able to allow you to take action to protect your data or take action to minimize the impacts of that. So next we have the encrypted email service. So this is access to a trial version providing 2 emails per month. And if you find this useful, you can upgrade this to a higher package. So standard emails day to day are not secure. So if you're sending anything that includes private, sensitive, or personal information, we recommend sending this by encrypted email. And that will make sure your emails are sent securely. Also, it can be used for proof of sending and registered sending, and this will give you an audited trail of sending your emails. And along with the service, there's an e-signature, access to e-signatures as well. This can be used to obtain electronic signatures on important documents such as contracts, agreements, and other legal documents. This will also give you an audited trail of the sending as well. So that's quite useful to have.
Thank you, Henry. With the registered email and the encrypted email, that's really good because if I want to send a really, really secure email, I will encrypt it. I can encrypt it. So that's a really good service to have. If I want to go above and beyond my normal security, I can encrypt an email if I think it's really sensitive. And if I want to prove, and if I want to prove that I've sent an email and that someone has read it, then the registered email is a really good service for that. With the electronic signature, sometimes I might be required to sign something electronically for legal reasons, maybe a lease or an agreement or something, and that electronic signature service can be very useful. And from my own experience, I've also, subscribed to this, and from my own experience, I haven't sent more than 2 of any of these per month, but others may want to send more than 2, but I haven't yet. With the data breach alert service, it's really non-intrusive as far as my experience is, because literally a replica contact is created, isn't it, and then sent to me. I just put that replica contact on my contact list, and then I forget about it, really, don't I?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's really simple, quite effective. So if your data were to be compromised, obviously we can tell you, we can give you recommendations on what to do depending on what level of data you've got in that database, whether it contains sensitive information or anything that you need to take further action on.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Henry. That's really good information, and thank you for that. And if anybody wants some cyber liability insurance at discounted rates, they want anything above and beyond what we're offering as part of membership, then they can join or contact Gambryce just by clicking on this button here, and Gambryce will get back to you very, very shortly. So that's really interesting and quite a good, what I would call holistic membership benefit, which protects basically our members' clients' data. And in the era of GDPR and the Data Protection Act of 2018, this is really, really important. So thank you for that offering and explaining that offering, Henry. Before we move on, I would like to introduce Bianca, our social media expert, to talk a little bit more about the social media aspects that were referred to when I was speaking with Sam about the directory listing and also the magazine. So Bianca, would you like to come in and maybe talk a little bit about social media, please?
Yes, sure. Thank you. So I'm Bianca, and I'm the social media and marketing consultant. And my role is to essentially just look after all of the social media pages and make sure that they're running smoothly. So I mostly look after the health and well-being side of things. So that would be running Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. This is our health and well-being Facebook page. So every article that is published on the Health and Wellbeing magazine will have a corresponding social media post, which will be published on this Facebook page. And then we do have our Instagram page as well. So this is Health and Wellbeing Instagram page. Our newest article, which was published today, was obviously deep oscillation. So that will be at the top. It gives you a little bit of an overview of what it's about, some hashtags that are relatable. There's a link in our bio on Instagram, which will take you directly to the Health and Wellbeing magazine, which is helpful. As Sam mentioned earlier, we do try get opinions from our audience. So I often will post things like motivational quotes or inspirational posts to see what our audience likes. So the other day I did ask about podcasts, what everyone would recommend about what their favorite health and wellbeing related podcast would be. So we do encourage our audience to take part in this and comment on our posts. However, if not, you are always welcome to directly message us via the social media platform, so that you would just direct message over here, this message icon, the health and wellbeing page. We also have LinkedIn. So this is our health and wellbeing LinkedIn page, a little bit of an overview of what it is about. And then again, there's our deep oscillation, which is obviously the most recent post. You can find the rest of them from the previous day or previous month. If you just keep scrolling along, you will find everything. Our other social media pages would be, we obviously have health and wellbeing, which I mostly associate myself with. We have BGI, Foyht, and Foss. So these are all available on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, for example, this is our Foyht page. And again, it's available. And yeah, basically as a conclusion, I do understand as a social media marketing consultant that it's very widely used these days. So it's important to be active on all of these platforms to ensure that we can reach a very wide audience or as many people as possible and keep everyone informed. Thank you.
Thank you, Bianca. And with the deep oscillation practice that you emphasized there, I actually experienced deep oscillation at the Therapy Expo recently on one of my fingers that had recent surgery, and I found it to be very, very effective. I can't really speak for long-term effects, but the initial treatment there was very effective. So through our own networking and through our own outreach, we do come into contact with a lot of our members and also people who do publish on the magazine and also through our various social media outlets. So that's really interesting. And thank you for that overview, Bianca. And do you think we will be expanding our reach to any other social media platforms in the future, Bianca?
Yes, so far we have built up a lovely social media community, and obviously we'd love to expand this in 2024. So we're going to be looking at expanding into X, which is previously known as Twitter, because we haven't ventured out there yet. So that will be our next goal.
That's quite exciting. Thank you, Bianca. We look forward to seeing more of us and our partners on X. Moving on, let's have a look at where we are now. So moving down, the membership benefits. And before I get on to the very important aspect of insurance coverage for our practices, for your practices, Ridgefield Consulting is an Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales registered accounting firm based in Oxford, and they offer our members, both corporate and individual, 20% discounted rates for tax and accounting advice and services. So that's one of the benefits that our members have, and you can click on further details here to find out more about the Ridgefield consulting offering. And bookinghawk.com, we have one of two at the moment booking systems. We're about to get a third, which is going to go onto our corporate pages, which offers the opportunity to have your own app created, but that's forthcoming very, very soon. And that'll be on our corporate pages to begin with. So you can look out for that on the corporate page of Foyt. But the two that we have on offering at the moment, the first one is bookinghawk.com, which is based in Ireland. Now, Smith is very, very helpful. Here you can look at booking management system demo on YouTube for classes and workshops, for your own classes and workshops, and how that might work for you. And also another YouTube demo video for one-to-one appointments. And the key premium features for bookinghawk.com include gift vouchers, group and one-to-one bookings, automated waiting lists, auto PDF receipts, Stripe integration for secure online payments, customer managed cancellations, client notes, which might be useful, appointment financials, and Zoom integration. So with bookinghawk.com, we do have the first 1 month a free trial, and the second and third months trial period. If you want to continue and extend the trial period for the second and third months, will be at half price. And I think the offering from bookinghawk.com is very, very reasonable. So do look at that if you're looking at a booking system, and Niall will help you individually tailor whatever you need for your booking system, for your website, and for your practice. So do get in touch with him as well. If you are more focused on remote working, then ISOS Connect is a platform that can really support your practice. And this arose out of periods of lockdown, and we never know when we're going to be locked down next necessarily, but it did change the landscape for businesses generally, the COVID period and the lockdown period. And ISOS Connect has enabled many people to take their businesses and practices online remotely to ensure security, and also an all singing and all dancing system that can help benefit your business and promote your business and engage with your clients one-to-one and or in group settings. So if you are looking at remote working, then have a look at ISOS Connect. Blue Blood Sports in Oxford offer discounted pieces of equipment and various things that can support various practices. So for instance, the medical bag, medical kit, I think whatever practice you have, you might want a medical kit. And depending on what practice you have or what you do, you might want to have a look at their offering and see what you can get discounted from Blue Blood Sports. Further details on the button here. Okay, so moving on, we come to our insurance element. Now, if we go back to the membership of Foyt, it's really important to understand that we do offer various levels of membership, and support basically has all the offerings of Protect, which is all the membership benefits with insurance. Support is for membership without insurance, without the major insurance element. There is legal advice and legal services benefit attached to support, but the main insurance benefit is with Protect. So with support, if you're training or practicing, preparing to get clients for a few months or weeks, you may want to consider support membership, where you can make use of all the benefits, get yourself out there, decide on the booking system, get any accounting advice at discounted rates, get any equipment that you want, sporting or leisure equipment that you want at discounted rates. You may want to get all of that set up before you take on clients, so that you're ready to go when you do have the clients, and you don't need to be multitasking, setting up all these benefits and getting yourself out there and getting the right platform while you're engaging with your clients. So support membership during the period before you get clients is really, really useful. And then, of course, it's a simple upgrade to Protect when you do want to have that insurance element to protect you and your practice for when you do have clients. So with that in mind, we will introduce Sophie from BGI to talk to us about the insurance element. Hello, Sophie.
Hello there.
Hello. So it's really interesting. The malpractice and public liability insurance for the business that's provided by BGI insurance brokers, there are a lot of elements to it. The first one talks here about public liability, and there's an indemnity limit there of 5 million, which could be increased on request to 10 million. But I just want to ask, on behalf of the members, who would I be, or would our members be liable to generally, and liable generally for what, do you think, Sophie?
Yeah, so the policy we offer is a combined liability product. So touching upon the public liability in the first instance, without going into too much detail, without boring people, because let's face it, it is insurance. The public liability section of the policy covers any third-party accidental injury. So to put it into a scenario, you're a yoga teacher, you put out various yoga mats, somebody walks into the room and trips over a yoga mat. Well, that's as a direct result of your business activities. That would be covered under the public liability section. So touching upon the third-party liability insurance as part of the public liability section, we had a client more recently who actually contacted us, who was a beautician. So she's renting a space in a hotel, and she was asked by the hotel, do you have public liability insurance which will indemnify us should a fire break out due to a machine that you may be using as part of your practice? She came back to ask us. She was quite panicked, thinking, I'm going to move into this space soon. I need this insurance in place. I don't want to pay out any more money for this, ideally. And luckily for her, it was already covered under her policy with us.
Fantastic. That sounds really good. Moving on to malpractice cover and professional indemnity. Does this cover our members for any injury that they do to their clients during treatment or classes, generally?
Yes, absolutely. So the medical malpractice section of the policy covers any injuries to third parties as a direct result of your practice. So I always like to put a scenario in place, because, as I say, insurance can be a little bit boring. So say, for example, I was a chiropractor and I caused a fracture whilst deploying an adjustment. So that would be covered under the malpractice section of the policy. So it covers not only just any personal injury claims that could be awarded to that claimant, it also covers your legal fees in that as well.
Brilliant, fantastic. Moving down, working from home at a client's home or at any owned, rented or hired premises anywhere in the world, excluding the USA or Canada. Could you possibly maybe explain the jurisdictional issues around cover, please? And this ties in with what we talk about later here, geographical area and jurisdiction, but that might be of interest to our members.
Yeah, of course. So we quite often get asked, I'm working at this premises, I'm going to now be working at this premises. Can I also work from this person's home? Can I work from my home? So yes, the policy itself will cover you anywhere in the world. physically, excluding USA and Canada. So unfortunately, due to the various states having different rules and regulations in each area in America and Canada, we are no longer, well, we were never able to offer cover there, unfortunately.
Cool.
So if you are working face-to-face, you're covered anywhere in the world, excluding those two places. If you're working online, the jurisdiction is based on where you are located, rather than where your client's located. If you're doing a yoga class online, you may put a free class out on YouTube to try and get people in to come on to your paying classes. You're not always going to know where people are. If for whatever reason that person located, say for example in Australia at the time was injured as a result of your instruction, then they would actually need to bring the claim to your jurisdiction where you were based at the time of that recording. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. And I think that's a very useful benefit to our members. So thank you for explaining that. Moving down, we have indemnity to principals here. This sounds a little bit complicated. Would you be able to explain what this means, please?
Yeah, so this isn't something that generally is part of most policies. I think we are one of few that offer this benefit. So although it is a benefit to our members as practitioners, it is actually mainly a benefit to those that they're working for. So say, for example, well, just to explain it then, so it provides indemnity under our policy to the person or principal in which you've been contracted to work for. So say, for example, again, I'm a chiropractor or a massage therapist. I've caused injury to a patient. The claim would be first made against the principal or the clinic owner, because that's who you've gone to see as a patient.
Yeah.
So the indemnity to principal will kick in where the claim made first against the clinic will be subrogated back to our client, because it was our client that actually caused that injury. So it's actually quite a nice little additional extension that's available on the policy, just to give that extra peace of mind to the people that our practitioners or therapists could be working for.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's again, that's a very interesting element of the insurance cover. Moving down, we have here 12 months runoff cover, which I could imagine could mean all sorts of things, but I wonder if you could explain that a little bit in more detail, please, Sophie.
Of course, yeah. So the 12-month runoff cover part of the policy, it covers you for periods where you may not be working for whatever reason. It could be you've decided to take 6 months off for a sabbatical, you'd like to go traveling. You could be going on parental leave for 9 months or up to a year. So essentially your policy would lapse with us. You'd have the 12 months runoff cover, which to allow for any claims to be made against your policy during that period. And it goes right back to your retroactive date, which is either 2006 or earlier, depending on when you first took out insurance. So although the 12-month runoff cover, just to be clear, because some people do get confused by this, it is only in place for periods when you are not working. So it doesn't mean that after 12 months, you could sort of dip in and out and practice where you'd like. It's only for periods where you aren't working.
That's great. Thank you for that clarification, because I think that's an important clarification to clear up any misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So that's crystal.
Insurance can be quite confusing, so
absolutely. So it's always good. And of course, I would encourage and advise all our members, if they have any questions regarding their insurance cover and what each key aspect of their cover means to them and how it would apply, and if they have any problem, to contact BGI and you'd clarify these issues with them. So that's great. Moving down, we are looking at employer's liability. Cover is not included but can be added, and an excess of £250 applies to the business stock and equipment extension. Is this when you employ people? Is this when our members would employ people full-time? And what about contracted, maybe part-timers for this particular aspect?
So depending on where you're based, I think this is quite important, depends on whether we can offer the cover. So employer's liability is mandatory by UK law in, of course, the UK. We can also offer it in Ireland, although it's referred to as workers' compensation. But outside of the UK and Ireland, we are unable to offer this cover. So there is quite a common misconception as to why and what scenario should you need it and what it covers you for. So upon the first point, if you are employing anybody, contracting anybody or even have any volunteers work for you that are unpaid, in the UK, you will be required to have this cover in place.
Right. Yeah.
So the second common misconception, as I mentioned, was what it covers. So a lot of people think that the employer's liability will cover anybody working under their instruction for their liabilities to practice. So that wouldn't be the case. So the employer's liability covers you as either an employer or someone, you know, who has people working under your instruction, should they become injured whilst working under your instruction.
Fantastic. That's really clearly put and very useful to know and understand. So thank you very, very much for that oversight there, Sophie, for the BGI malpractice and public liability insurance cover that is part of the Foyt Protect membership. Moving on, we have our final aspect to our membership under Protect, which is ARAG, which is access to free legal advice and assistance. And basically, this is, if I've got it right, Sophie, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 24/7 legal advice, cover and support that is open to our members. If they call the hotline at the bottom, then they will get legal advice on the spot, or they will be told that they will be you know, got back to with specific advice on their situation. And of course, there is, I think, legal services, indemnity up to £100,000, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's right. So if you ever do need to use the service of actually putting through a claim, you would call ARAG, they would ask you to fill out a claim form, and then they'll go through all the information from there with you. But essentially, it's the 24/7 helpline should you just require some advice, and then also the claim service. So if you do need to make a claim, the indemnity on there is up to 100,000. You're right.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's a very useful benefit there. So in sum, these are our benefits, and they're here to support all holistic practitioners, therapists, teachers, complementary therapists, practitioners, teachers, manual therapists, practitioners, teachers. So, you know, please do make use of all these benefits to support your practice. And you can do that, as I've mentioned before, on a number of levels. First of all, before you start to get clients at support level, where you can make use of all the benefits to set up your business, get yourself out there, get yourself set up properly before you start taking clients. And then if and when you upgrade to Protect membership with insurance, we will prorata the remaining support membership that's left and knock that off the upgrade price. So it makes sense financially as well to become a support member if you don't have clients for the time being, but you intend to have clients later. So thank you all very much indeed for attending today, and we hope that this has been useful for the members who are watching. If you have any questions related to anything we've spoken about today, please do email me at rod.diaz@foyt.org, or you can call me directly on my landline, which is 01367 246 148. And what we will be doing in the new year is looking at each and every benefit and going into a bit more detail and sending out newsletters explaining each benefit in a little bit more detail every few months or so. So I think that wraps up today's webinar. Thank you, all of you, for attending, and look forward to hearing from you members soon. I do contact you every so often. If your membership with insurance lapses, I will send you an email. All new members, I will send an email to. And please don't forget where Foyt.org is for your membership benefits. And if you have any questions related to specifically membership outside of insurance, then please do email me or contact me by phone directly. So thank you very much, and see you all soon.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.